looking at two things. Let's start the class by learning about global variables. What global variables are in Python programming. So someone is about to join the class. So let's discuss what global variables are in Python programming. Please, who can tell me what a variable is before we go into global variables? Who can tell me what a variable is? Just, hello, are you with me? Hello everybody, are you with me? Can we hear me?
It is used to store data or a value.
Thank you. A variable is used to store a value, oftentimes for future reference. We use a variable to store values for future reference so that we can use the values or the value later. Right. But there are two types of variables. We have global variable and local variables. So tonight we are going to look at the difference between both variables. When should you use which? Then from there we now apply it to this task, to the to-do assignment I gave you earlier. So tonight we should look at two things, global and local variables, then we should look at URL variables. So let's start with global and local variables. So I'll create a Python file. I can call it variables.py. Variables.py. When you have a function, let me make this bigger. I don't know if you're able to see my screen very well. Okay, I think it's bigger now. Hello world. Function. That's that. When I run this code, what am I going to see? If I run this file now, if I say Python variables.py, what am I going to see? Hello everyone.
Yes, I can hear you.
If I run this code, what am I going to see? Any contrary opinion? Hello, what I'm a function. I will not see anything. Remember, please always keep in mind that until you call on a function, the function will not be executed. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when we run this, we are not going to see anything. We're not going to see anything. Okay, let's take it a step further. You can create a variable within a function. I can say name equals to Taye. So this will create a variable called name and the value will be Taye, but this variable will not be created until I call on this function. That means that when we run this code now, there will be no variable name. There will be no variable name because I'm here to call on this function. Do you get it? Any questions to this part?
No question.
Okay. But as soon as I call on this function, Python will do everything here. That is, it's going to create this variable name, which is Taye, then it will do this. Now this is where it now gets interesting. When Python is done doing everything in that function and there's nothing more to do in that function, Python will destroy the local variable. It's going to destroy this variable. Immediately it is done. I come again. When you call on a function like this, Python is going to do everything here. It's going to create this variable name equals to Taye. Let's say I have my name is Taye. Let's say print. My name is name. This is going to print my name is Taye for you. Then it's print hello world, I am a function. Now I have a question for you. Do you get what this line is doing? If you don't understand this line, kindly raise up your hand. Line 3.
You are placing the value of the variable name into the function.
Yes, yes. No, in Python, if I say my name is name, what I want it to do is I want to say my name is whatever this name is. Since name is Taye, I want it to be my name is Taye. But if I want it like this is going to give you my name is name. Like it's going to give you the exact thing that I wrote in this code. It's going to act exactly like that. So what Python gives us something called format F. Just put F before the code. So whenever you want to write Python script, you can put it in curly braces. So once I put curly braces, now I can put variables there, I can put Python codes there, like simple Python codes there. You put F at the beginning of the string of the codes, then you can put the curly braces. Whatever is within these curly braces will be seen as Python logic codes. So if I put name there, it's not going to see it as ordinary text again. Instead, it will bring this variable and put it right there. So it's going to bring this Taye and put it here. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. So since the beginning of this class, only one person has been answering me. Only that friend has been answering me.
Yes, I get it. I get it.
Okay. So when you run this, going to see my name is Taye. But this is a local variable because local variables are written within functions. When you call on that function, Python will create that variable. When it is done with everything in the function, Python will destroy that variable. Meaning that if I come to this place and I say print name, this will throw an error. Python does not understand the meaning of this name because when you call on this function, the name, although the name was created, but at the end of the function, when it's done, Python will destroy that variable. So if you come here, since the variable has been destroyed now, if you come here and try to print name, it's going to throw an error to tell you it does not recognize that variable. Any question to this part?
No.
Okay. Sorry, a little question before we proceed. There is a question. Just to test our knowledge of this F before we move on, to be sure that you're getting it. So if I say age equals to, let's say 20, and I say print age, what would this give me if I run this code?
Age.
Good, thank you, thank you. If I say print age, what would this give me if I run this code? Good, thank you. Do we understand this very well? We're going to use this a lot in the course of this today's class, something like this. Okay, let's now proceed. So this here, whatever variable that you create within a function is a local variable. That means it is localized to that function. It cannot be used outside of that function. It can only be used within the function, but not outside of the function. Okay. So let's run the code Python. My name is I am a function. But if I come out here and say print name, it will throw an error. Name is not defined. Name is not defined. Okay. Let's talk about global variables now. Global variables are variables that are created outside of functions. So if I take this name out of this place and I put it here, there's a global variable. So the only difference between a local variable and a global variable is where the variable was created. Please, who has any question on this? Okay. So because global variables are not created within any function, they are not limited to a single function. That means that if I have another function here, it can also make use of this variable name. If I say print I am, this is going to print I am tired. Once I call on this function, second func, it's going to print I am tired. But if this were to be a local variable, it can only be used within that function because it will be destroyed once you are done with that function. When you call on this function, it's going to call on this function. Once it's done doing everything within that function, it will destroy that variable. So when you call on second func now, it will not recognize that variable. Question, question, question.
Okay, so sorry.
Okay.
So if like the variable is created inside the function,
Okay.
if I put the print name before calling the function, what would happen?
It will not recognize it.
It is still not recognized.
I say print name like this. Because the variable is only created when you call on that function. It is while it's executing the code in the function that you see the line creating the variable. Do you get this?
Yes, I guess.
Okay, alright, thank you. So this is our local variables and global variables. Now, well, that makes our work a bit tricky. Look at something. Let's say I have variable, let's use num. Let's even say h. I'll delete all of this. Our comments will be better. Let's comment it out. So let's say I have variable h. And variable h is let's say 1. We have a function called go order. Right. Then say h. Well, let's start with this. Sorry. Let's make it a local variable at first, then later we change it to a global variable. H equals to h plus 1 print h, yes, right. Okay. So we have this function grow order. When I call on this function grow order, and I call on it again, and I call on it one more time, what will line 21 give me, what will line 22 give me, what will line 23 give me, based on what we've learned?
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Thank you. Any contrary opinion?
No.
Okay.
The first one is 2, 3, 4. Yes, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's look at it together. When you call on grow order, remember it's going to do everything here. So it's going to create this variable h. It will insert 1 inside of it. H equals to h plus 1, that is h equals to 1 plus 1. H becomes 2. It's going to say, hey, I'm 2 years old. When it is done, remember, local variables are destroyed. So that variable will be destroyed immediately. So the age will no longer exist when it's done. Again, when you call on this function grow order again, if you run all of these codes again, it will create a new variable h. The value will be 1. H equals to h plus 1, h equals to 1 plus 1, h becomes 2. It's going to print, hey, I am 2 years old. When it is done, it will destroy that variable h. Then, when you call on grow order again, it's going to call on this function, do everything here. It's going to create a new variable h. H equals to h plus 1, h equals to 1 plus 1, h becomes 2. It's going to say print, it's going to print, hey, I am 2 years old. So you're going to say, hey, I am 2 years old 3 times. Any question on this?
I guess it's now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. So what if I make this a global variable? Now this is going to throw an error. I'll explain why. When you run this now, you have some error. Let's discuss what's going on here. Why this error? From the error message, cannot access local variable age where it is not associated with a value. Sorry, someone is about to join the class. So what is going on is this. Variable age equals to 1. Okay, initially when you run this code, it's to get a variable age equals to 1. It's going to omit all of this because you've not called on this function. When you call on variable function grow order, it will say age equals to age plus 1. Now, in Python programming, you can access the value of a global variable inside a function. That is, let's remove this line 17. I'm trying to access this age. I'm trying to use the value of this age. If I say I am 8 years old, this is going to say I am 1 year old. Do you get that part?
Yes.
So you can access the value of a global variable inside of a function. But what you cannot do is to change the value of a global variable inside a function. Do we get it? You can use that value, but you cannot change it to something else. You know, at this point, you are trying to change the value of age to age plus 1. You're saying that get the initial value of age, add 1 to it, and let that be the new value of age. So Python does not allow you, at least based on what we've learned so far up to this point, Python does not allow you to change the value of a global variable inside of a function. In fact, let me tell you something. If I say age equals to 6, if I call on this function, grow order, Python will run all of these codes. Right. If you see age equals to, remember, there is age equals to 1 year. But when you call on function grow order, and it gets to this part, it will create a new variable for you. Age will be 6. It will ignore this first one. This is a global variable, but this new one that will be created will be a local variable just meant for this function alone. It will not change the value of this age to 6. No. I come again. It will not change the value of the global variable to 6. Instead, it will create a new variable with the same name age, but this one will be a local variable, and the value of that one will be 6. So age equals to age plus 1, age becomes 7. Again, it is this local variable that becomes 7 here. Then it's going to say I am 7 years old. When it is done, it will destroy that local variable. The global variable will still exist. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Okay. Any question before I proceed? Okay. So what Python will not allow you to do is to change the value of a global variable within a function. So if you like this, you are trying to change this value, right? And Python will throw an error.
Emmanuel, please mute your mic.
So you are trying to follow and show Emmanuel. Let's see if I can mute. Okay. Okay. So you are trying to change the value of the global variable here, and Python will not allow you to do that. And that's why it's doing an error. It's assuming that this age here is a local variable, and it cannot find any local variable here called age. So how do you solve this problem? So to solve that problem, this is where the global keyword comes in. So whenever you want to change, not just access now, whenever you want to change the value of a global variable inside of a function, you use the word global. Global age. What is global age means that anytime I call on age within this function, I'm referring to the global variable. Anytime. That is, if I come here and I say age equals to 6, I'm saying that the age here should be the global one. Change the content of the global variable to 6. You know, a variable is a container where you store value. So what you are saying is that go to that container, the global variable container, and change the content to 6. instead of creating a local variable called age, which should be different from this one, what you are doing here is that you are changing the content of that global container from 1 to 6, the same container but different value. Any question? Do we get it?
Yeah, I have a
Yes, no
question.
question from my end.
Okay, alright. That friend, you said you have a
Yes,
question.
I have a question.
Alright.
So, if you change the global variable, are you changing it within the function, or you have changed it globally? So, if I want to create another function, and I want to use age, the age variable, if this function is at the top, will it change the value of the global now to 6?
Exactly, yes, it changes permanently.
Oh, okay.
So if you have another function which you're going to test now, using this age is going to see the new one. So it's going to see the new one. As long as this function has changed the value to 6, it becomes permanent. Except, of course, another function changes it again to something else. So based on that now, we can run this code. If I run this code, what will I see? If I run this code, what will I see?
It's a 2, 3, 4 for this one.
Good. It's going to be 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So it's going to say, I am 2 years old, I am 3 years old, I am 4 years old. Good one. That's how we have this. So any question on local and global variables? Okay.
No question from here.
So let's say we have another function. Let's say, I just say, let me call it my func. I can't think of a good name to call it. Right? H. Let's play a bit. Let's play a bit. So if I run this code, what will I see?
One, two, two.
1, 2, 2. Got it. Got it. 1, 2, 2. So let's now apply this to the assignment I gave us 2 weeks ago, to the to-do. I remember mentioning something in the last class that you can generate a unique ID, unlike the one we did in class whereby the email was unique, the one we did in class for users. For the assignment, I asked you to generate a to-do. Right. And for to-do, it's possible for 2 items to have the same values. So you may not, it may not be the best to use the task itself as the key. So this is why I'm teaching this, so that you can make use of that. So what you're going to do now is this. We'll create a to-do.py, which I'm going to use for today's task. To-do.py. I'll copy the things here. How do I usually do everything? Let's come here. Paste. So I will change the name of my functions. Beneath this, I'll call this to-dos. This is a global variable to do. this landing page. Let's call this to-do.html. Then remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. Good. So we can have this to add a new to do. So this can be add to do, add to do. Is a post request. Then we come to this part soon. Okay, let's do step by step. Let's create a page that is going to return this to-do.html. So when you go to the landing page, you see to-do.html. So we're going to create this file called to-do.html within our templates. To-do.html. So this is going to have a form there. My form may have just a single input, which is the task you want to do. So you can say that name, let's call this maybe task. Action, where you are submitting the form to, you can call it add to do, or / add to do. Then placeholder, on that task you want to do. Input type submit. And this when you click on this, submit the form to this URL. So let's go to that URL and get the to do there. Please, any questions to this part? If you are lost on this, please can you let me know? Please, are you following me?
Yes.
Okay. So the to do will be submitted
Yes,
here.
sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So the method here is post. So let's change this to post. Okay. So on the form, we're expecting, let's call this task. Okay. Now we can remove others. For now, let's stop. Let's move it to this point. So when you submit this form, it's going to submit to this URL and it's going to run the code. Instead of calling this register, we can call it add to do. So you are calling on this function add to do. It will get this task out of this task here. The name here is task. So it's going to get it here and save it as variable task. So what you want to do is that you want to take this task and add it as part of this to do. So we are going to create a dictionary. You can call it new to do. Equals, you can create a dictionary. You can say task. Task. The value is this task. At the beginning, you can say that all to do's, you can set the completed to be false. That is, initially, once you create a new to do, it means that that to do is yet to be done. You've not done that to do. So you can set completed. Completed, setting to be false. What you're going to do later is that when you click on done, like once you finish that to do, you want to change this completed to true, which you're going to do later. Do we get what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay. Jadesala, Dorcas, Enoch, Olanshaw, do we get what you're trying to do?
Yes, I'm following you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are creating a new to do now. Is a dictionary. Then we want to now take this to do and add it here. But we said that we want each to do to have a unique key. So that two to do's will not have the same key. So this is where the global variables that we learned just now, this is where it comes in. We can create a variable and call it maybe to do ID. To do ID. Initially, you can let it start as 0. So for the first to do, you're going to come here, set the key to be 0, and the value will now be this. So you're going to say that to do this. Global to do ID. So meaning that anytime I call on to do ID inside this place, I'm referring to this global variable. So you can now say to this to do ID. So it's going to put this 0, place it inside this place. Then the value can now be new to do. When you are done, you can say to do ID plus equals to do ID plus 1. To do ID plus 1. So that is to do ID becomes 1. It moves from 0 to 1. So that when you want to add the new to do, remember it's a global variable. When you want to add the new to do, it's going to see the most recent value, which is 1. So for the second to do, you're going to add the to do ID will be 1. For the third to do, you're going to add the to do ID will be 2. On and on like that. Any question on this?
No.
Okay. So when you are done
I
adding,
get it, sir.
okay. When you are done adding, you can then redirect the user. I don't think we want to do this part. You don't need to check if the to do ID exists. You know, if you're down to the users, it's possible for two users to enter the same ID, but you are the one handling it in your code. So I don't think we are going to have situations whereby two to-dos will have the same ID. So after you've added a new to-do, you are redirecting the user back to the landing page. Please remind me in one of our classes, we're going to look at URL form. We can make this part better by using URL form, URL_form. I'm going to look at it later. So when you add a new to-do now, it will go straight to the landing page. That is, it will come here and it's going to render this. So with this now, you can add all the to-dos. Next is you want to display the to-do. So let's get a page for you to display the to-dos. Let's get this display to-dos. Then let's say display to-do. Let's get this display to-do .html. Remove this. So let's get the file to display the to-dos. Let's call display to-do. Since we are not displaying a single to-do, we are displaying all of the to-dos, not just one to-do. So we come here, we create a file inside your templates. Please, all HTML files should be within your templates. So you can call it display underscore to-dos data HTML. Inside this place, I can put an action tag in case I want an anchor tag in case I want to go back to the landing page. So it will be easier for me to do that. href. Let's go to this home page. So you can put. So we want to bring all the to-dos here. So let's come back to this place now. To-dos equals to this variable to-dos. So you are sending all the to-dos to the front end. So all the to-dos will be sent to the front end. So let's get all the to-dos here. At this part now, you can run a loop. I told you that we're making use of Ginger, and Ginger has a syntax. So you can say this is an HTML tag, UL on ordered list. So let's digest a bit and quickly in the next minute or two. Let's talk about HTML. This is HTML tag on ordered lists. On ordered list, we have two types of lists. We have ordered list and unordered list. Ordered list uses figures like 1, 2, 3 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or ABC. Unordered list uses bullets. That is, inside this place now, I can have different li tag. Let's say T li milk li sugar. So let's say I have this. We'll run this on the browser and see what that will give us. So I'll say Python to do.py. Okay, so let's go to the browser. So let's say jump send it send. So once you go to display to this slash display, sorry, I want to look at the name you gave it here. Display to this hyphen to this, okay? Hyphen to this. So see, make sugar. This is another list. If I change the name from another list to ordered lists, so refresh is say 1, 2, 3. So another list will be is going to use bullets. Ordered is going to use numbers. Right. Now we can now this part is being repeated. What we want to do here is that you want to repeat this part based on, sorry, I want to turn this back to you. You want to repeat this part based on the number of to-dos that you have. If you have 5 to-dos, you want this li to be displayed 5 times. If you want 6 to-dos, you want this li to be displayed 6 times. If you have 1 to-do, you want this li to be displayed 1 time, so that it will only display 1 item. Do we get what you are trying to do? Please, do we get what?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what we want to do is that let's assume our to-dos are jump, skate, sleep. So you want to say this on the screen. There are 3 to-dos. If my to-dos increases to be 4, let's say a new to-do was added. Let's say run. So meaning that you are displaying 4 li tags. That is, you want to display this li based on the number of to-dos that are being added. If you have 3 to-dos, you want this li to be displayed 3 times. If you have 7 to-dos, it means you want to display this li 7 times. And the text inside each of them will be the text of that particular to-do, the task of each of those to-dos. If the to-do added, if you have just 2 to-dos, then it means that you want to display this twice, just this and this. If you have 5 to-dos, you want to display this li 5 times. Do we get what you're trying to do?
Yes, sir.
So we just put the to-do inside of this. Instead of we hard coded this now, instead of hard coding it, it's going to be that particular or those to-dos added. So for that reason, we're going to use a loop. You know, loops are used to repeat things. So you can do this. This, your ginger syntax. For I explained that if you have for anything, let's call it anything in to this will represent the keys. This anything will represent the keys of the to-dos. That is, this will be 0, 1, 2 because the keys here are numbers. It's going to your to-do ID is starting at 0. Then later it becomes 1, it becomes 2, it becomes 3. So if you try to display this anything, you're going to see 0, 1, 2 based on the number of to-dos that are being added. Are we lost? If you are getting it, say I'm getting it.
I'm getting it.
If you are lost, say I'm lost. Okay. I want to believe that you are following me. So, you can now take advantage of this anything and display each of your to-dos. So, you can do something like this. And for this your ginger syntax again. So this is the end of your for loop. Inside this place now, you can say display li. Inside that, I want it to get the to-dos. Get the to-dos. Inside the to-dos, get the this should be double. Whenever you are displaying item, you make it of double curly braces like this. To-dos. Inside the to-do, you put the key there. put the key. The key is anything. So you put the key, anything. Then inside it, each to do has a task. Look at this here, task. So you want to get the task. Forget this completed for now. We're going to deal with it later. So we want to display just the task of that particular to do. Task. So this is going to display. All your task, the task of all your to-dos. So let's see if that is working fine. We come back to the browser, refresh. So only to-dos were added. We come here, add new to-do. Let's say sleep, or let's say code. Then when you go to this now, slash display. So this, it's part of it now. So when you add a new to do, it will automatically be added here. Question. Again, in the last class, I used an approach also. I told you that you can come here and use another approach, which I think can make this up. You can set the ID of your to-do, which this is going to be the key of your to-do, and this is going to represent each value in the to-do. So this will be to-do.items. So this will get all the items in the to-do. Each of the item will be this to-do. So I can now say to-dos.task. So I think this is maybe neater or something. So to-do.task. We should get the same results. Refresh. Slash display to this. Oops. It's not getting the task. I'm coming to this ID. Okay, it's getting this. Wait, okay, we are displaying all of the to-dos. Okay, display the to-do itself. Okay, jump its code. This is what you need. So you can now say that task. Task. Yeah, jump. So why was it not working initially? Okay, it's fine. So now this gets all your to-dos for you. Question, I think our meeting ends in 15 minutes time. Do we get what you just did? Who doesn't understand what you just did? Now, I will teach us URL parameter now. Then I'll give an assignment so that you can complete this to do. Now, let's talk about URL parameter. Let's go to the HTML, to-do.html. You can come here and use something called the anchor tag. Let's say I'm going to this URL, href slash check. Let's say slash check slash taille show taille slash check slash Kenny show Kenny. When I click on this, it will go to slash check slash taille. When I click on this, it's going to slash check slash Kenny. So let's create routes to handle this too. I'll come back to this place. I'll click the slash checkouts def check. Let's call it check. Oh, sorry, your app.out at app.out. Check. So meaning that anytime you go to slash check, you are trying to go to this particular URL. So what do you want to do now? you want to say that anything, remember, we want this, oh, where's my HTML? When you go to slash check slash taye and slash check slash kenny, you want to go to the same URL but displaying different things. Do we get what you're trying to do? For instance, if I go to slash check slash taye, I want to display my name is taye. Okay. When I go to slash check slash taye, I want to go to my name is taye. I want to display my name is taye. When I go to slash check slash kenny, I want to display my name is kenny. You can see that I'm displaying almost the same thing except the value of this name. Do you get it? If I go to slash check slash taye, I want to show my name is taye on the screen. When I go to slash check slash kenny, I want to display my name is kenny on the screen. So you can agree with me that I'm displaying the same thing except the value of this taye and kenny. Do we get this? So
Yes.
so we redirect the two of them to the same URL, but we manipulate in such a way that it will know that, oh, I clicked on taye or I clicked on kenny. They are pointing to the same URL. That is, when I click on this, it will come here. We want it to come to this, and I want the code here. Also, let's like this. When I click on this one too, we still want it to go to this same route, not to a different route, to this same route. I want the codes here, but maybe we want to do one or we want to do something else. It's coming to the same route. The two of them are coming to the same route, but we are doing different things there. This is where URL parameters comes, or URL variables, or we also call it route parameters. So you come here and say, you can call this name, anything, give it any name of your choice, or any name or any variable name of your choice. I can call it name. What this is saying that anything after slash check should be assigned to name. When you see this angle bracket, this angle bracket is telling Python that anything that is after check should go to name. That is, when I click on this taye is the one that is after check. So this taye will be assigned to variable name. Then when I click on this second one, kenny is what we have after check. So kenny will be assigned to this variable name. Do we understand this part? Do we get it? Hello everybody. Can we hear me? Or am I the only one?
I
Okay. Do we get what I'm trying to say?
can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I should tell them.
Okay. So we can now say
So I should be dynamic.
yes,
Yes,
it's
I
a bit
get it.
dynamic. Yes, get it. I can say return my name is this name. So let's just say F F. Can put the name here. So this is going to say my name is, then it's picked up, name is not defined. So this is going to pick that variable name and it will display it right there. Oh, it's telling me name is not defined, I think. Oh, sorry. Whatever you put it, you call it, you attach it to this place. So this will pass it from here. It will put it here so that we can make use of it inside the function. So whatever is after check will be assigned to this name. This picks it up, pass it to this function, and this function can display it. So let's go to the landing page now. Home page. What's going on with the home page? Sorry. Oh. Python to this. Or to do that. Is it to do? No. To this. Okay, to do. Now here's my landing page. If I click on this now, my name is taye. Look at the URL /check/taye. When I click on this second one, my name is Kenny. Look at this. My name is Kenny. So both of them are going to the same URL, but they are displaying different things. This is URL variable or route parameters. Assignment. Here's the assignment. When I have a new to do, let's display all our to do. There should be a URL here to display all to do. Please put that. But I will just go there manually. At the front of each of the to do, I want to have a button there. I'll set this for users. display to this. Okay. In front of each of the today, we want to have a button. I can say done. Let's put a little. Yeah, let's just do it like this. Okay, done. When you click on this now, you want to change. You want to close out this jump. Just close it out with a line, and change this done to undone. I come again. When you click on this done, you want to close out this. Let me explain. Let me give you a hint on what you're going to do. Remember, at the point of creating each of your to-dos, there is a completed property here. Add to do. So change this to true. Again, when you click on that done, just find a way to change the completed key of that part, the value of the completed key of that particular to do. Find a way to change it to true. So when you change it to true now, at the point of displaying is you now check, is the value of the completed key, is it true or false? If it is false, display this done button. If it is true, close out that particular task and changes the text inside this button from done to undo. That is, if this is true, if the value of one of them is true, right, what I want to see on the screen here should not be done, it should be undo, because it means I've done that, so I've completed that task. So you don't want to click on that done button again. You want to change it to undo, then close out that particular task. Any question? So please, I want you to attempt the assignment.
Okay.
I want you to attempt the assignment. So we meet in the next class. So next class, I should be teaching us how to hash your password and how to undo login, logout. We are learning all this training by this month, ending of this month. So please, I want us to take it serious. We have just maybe 4 classes or 3 classes left. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming.